Good morning, everybody. At least it's kind of good morning here, 10 o'clock a.m. Question for you. My favorite food group, Nutella, Gorilla Tape, and a sprouting lid. What do these three things, I'll hold up three. What do these three things have in common? Or should I say, what will these three things teach you in your marketing business? That's what I'm going to talk about today. And I feel like, excuse me, that I should be doing commercials or something. Now, first of all, if you're on my email list, you know that I love Nutella. So I'm always looking for an excuse to talk about it. So let's jump in here. And let me, first of all, let's just examine what Nutella is. If you haven't had it, you need to run to the store and get some because it's awesome if you like chocolate. Nutella has such a unique flavor to it. It's chocolatey. It's not over the top. I mean, it's nice and sweet. Another fun thing about it, though, is it has such a smooth consistency. So if you're familiar with Nutella, it just spreads on that toast super easily. Your pancakes or even your banana, it just is so nice how it goes on. But the other interesting thing about Nutella, it has a really unique container that it's in. Okay, I haven't seen other containers like this. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen it. So an interesting story about the container, you know, some veg on the couch and I was watching Netflix or something one night. And I'm sure you've heard of product placements, right? Where they strategically put something in the background and the, manufacturer or whoever is paying for it. Well, in this particular episode, this woman reached into the cabinet to get something, and in the cabinet was a jar of Nutella. But what was interesting is they didn't have it front facing. They didn't have the label showing. It was the back and maybe kind of turned just slightly at an angle. But I immediately knew what this product was. It's like, oh, she has Nutella in her cabinet. Like I say, I'm a little obsessed with Nutella. The other thing that's very unique about Nutella, the container, I think anyway, now I've got the jumbo size here, obviously, but it fits into my hand nicely. Now, why does that even matter? For me, I actually have kind of smallish hands. So when I love these, I love these stainless steel, tumblers and stuff. But when I go to look for one, it is so irritating because I want a big one. I want to be able to drink all my liquids, not have to jump up every 5 minutes. But most of them are so big, they don't fit my hand. They fit my husband's hand perfectly, but they don't fit mine. So then what do I have to do? Then I have to look for a nice little handle that fits on it. I don't know, maybe I'm a little different, but because of my hand size, I want the drinking to be, easy for me. So now it seems like I'm going off into the woods here, but stick with me just for a minute. With our products and services, how easy is it for people to use us, to use the services, and how well does it fit? So Nutella, what I wanted to share with you is Nutella has come up with such an excellent way of creating that USP, that unique selling proposition, AKA what makes them different. Now there are, hold on just a second. It looks like somebody's chatting, but I'm using StreamYard, so again, you have to give StreamYard permission if you're wanting to share a comment so I can see who it is. Anyway, this USP, this unique selling proposition, or this uniqueness about them, everything about them makes them unique, right? So in your product or service, what makes you unique? Now, you know, I can already hear everybody moaning and groaning. It's like, oh, you know, but I'm a coach, I'm this, I'm that. And, you know, there's a billion other people out there. There probably are, but we're all unique and we all bring a different perspective to life and our experiences. So there has to be something unique about how you package your product or service or what you offer. So I want you to think about that. And if you're watching this on replay, let me know. And let me know in the comments what your uniqueness is with your business or your service. Okay. Now let's talk about this second thing here, this sprouting lid. So I just recently, let me see if I can show it to you. I don't know why it's so hard. Okay. So it's this lid. It's got these tiny little holes. And it just fits. I should have brought a mason jar. It just fits on the mason jar perfectly. And then it has these little legs, so it can just sit on those legs. Well, I recently decided I'm going to start sprouting. I think I'd done it 20 years ago or something. A lot of health benefits. So I thought, you know, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to start doing it again. Now, right away, I remembered those tiny little seeds. What do you do when you sprout? You have to rinse it twice a day. Now, you think you can just pour it in a colander? You can't, because the seeds are so tiny. So then what do? You know, you get some kind of a mesh. Anyway, it's not easy. So along the way, people identified that there was a gap in the market. There was something that was causing the whole sprouting process not to be easy. So some clever people came up with these ideas of, and there's all different types, but I was really drawn to this one for a couple of reasons. One, easy. Hello, I love easy. And if it's not easy, people aren't going to implement it. Two, it works with something I already have. I have tons of mason jars, so I didn't have to go out and buy a bunch of other stuff. I can just put it on my little mason jar and I'm good to go. The other interesting thing, I got it on Amazon. The company that's selling these, they actually did a little video to show how easy it was to use this product. So you put your seeds in, you fill it up with, you put the lid on, fill it up. So you can fill it up with the lid on, and then you can drain it with the lid on. And then the other kind of unique thing about them is these little legs here. So you're not supposed to, if you're sprouting, you're not supposed to have it straight down like this. You're supposed to leave it at an angle. So the little legs allow it to, you can just put it in a dish or something, and it sprouts really easy. Now, again, what do we learn from this? There was a gap in the market, okay? And the gap was, it was a pain in the tush to do the whole rinsing, you know, and draining of doing your sprouts. So somewhere along the line, somebody came up with this idea. Now, there's other gaps in the market with this particular product. So now I'm up to 2 jars at one time sprouting, and you know, so I don't want my whole cabinet filled up with tons of, because now I put it in a bowl so it drains in the bowl, and you know where I'm going with this. So they probably have it. I just haven't looked yet. You know, now the next thing is maybe there would be a rack that these would fit in with a tiny little drip tray. The point that I'm bringing out is with anything, there's usually some kind of a gap in the market. So with your service, with your offering, what gap in the market? And can you really hone in on that? And again, if people want easy, you know, they don't want complications. So that's your homework. If you're watching this, is think about, is there a gap in your particular industry and how could you fill it? And again, put it in the comments. I would love to see that. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, let me get this up close. And again, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not, you know, I don't get anything. These are just things in my cupboard that I'm using. So I have a little she shed, my little garden shed. Just absolutely love it. It's nice and organized. My husband's not allowed in it. Um, and so now what am I doing? I'm decorating the outside of my she shed because it's a she shed, right? And so I had this cute little, I don't know, like welcome sign or something. The problem is I don't want to drill a hole in my beautiful little shed. So how do I hang that? How do I attach it? And I had vaguely remembered, I love Gorilla products, and I vaguely remembered seeing something like this. So it's a two-sided tape. It says it works indoors and outdoors and, you know, holds up to 15 pounds or something. So when my husband went to the store, I asked him to get me some, and I thought, okay, this will work. When I was, and I don't always read the directions, but I thought I better just make sure because I don't want to mess up the shed, have all this sticky stuff. So I read the back. Hello, men out there, read the directions, okay? So I was reading the back. I have to tell you, I discovered something absolutely fascinating. And I love Gorilla products even more because of this. On the very back, it has a little section. Let's see if I can show you. See that? Tips for use. Now, have you ever tried to get the backing off of two-sided tape and you're trying to bend the corner? It just drives me insane. Say hello if you've ever had that experience. On Gorilla tape here, I'm going to read it. I wrote it down because it's just so excellent. It says, tips for use. For easier removal, pinch and stretch the corner and it will lift the front of the tape so you can just peel it off. Hello. Why didn't somebody tell me after all these years of fighting with two-sided tape? And maybe it doesn't work with other products, but with Gorilla, it says, so in other words, it just says pull just a little bit and it releases that top tape thing so that I can just pull it off and I'm good to go. I don't have to waste hours. So again, something easy, super easy tip. Now, why am I talking about this? What are we learning from this product? Your FAQs. Now, we all know if we sell something, we need to have the FAQs. Is this going to be recorded? What if I lose my password? How long is it going to take, right? All of those boring questions. And I'm not saying that they're not important because people do have those questions, but you're missing some prime real estate to sell your product. And I'll tell you, going back, I mean, I love Gorilla products, but if I was in the store and I was reading the back of this and I was reading the back of a competitor, I'm going to buy this because they understand my pain of trying to get that stupid front little thing off. I'm going with them hands down just because of that little thing. So in our FAQs, can we offer some like additional little teaching point, or can we give them a tip? I'm trying to think of an example, but just let them know like, hey, once you get into this course, I know that you're going to maybe by week 2 start feeling overwhelmed. So I have a quick little tip for you so you don't feel that way. I mean, just anything. So people, you know, we've heard the saying, people buy emotionally, then they look for the logic to, you know, to back that up. And AQs, you know, they do, and that's like Sandra, they do. It's a great way to answer those objections because what's going on in their mind is they're looking for that rationale of, okay, I think this is a good idea, but I need something to back it up. Well, what if this? What if that? And so forth, okay? But again, what I'm saying is that the FAQ, you're missing prime real estate if you don't really think about, can you offer something extra in that FAQ? Because you're building their confidence with you that this person really knows what they're talking about. And easy is the key word with all of these products. Notice we want easy. We want something that we can just take off with it. And it, you know, if we're helping people in the online business, they want easy. So how can we make it easy? And how can we tap into the FAQ and teach them a little something, let them know that, hey, I know you're going to have this frustration, but if you do, this is how you get around it. I thought it was brilliant, and I just had to share it with you. So let me know in the comments what your FAQs are, or if maybe this was an aha moment for you and you're going to look at FAQs a little differently. Now, before I go, just want to give you a quick update. I'm working furiously trying to get, I'm revamping, I used to call it my business accelerator program. I'm revamping it to Funnel Foundations. I'm going to be opening enrollment in a few weeks. And I just wanted to tell you, it's not just about funnels. It's all about all of this back-end foundation stuff for your business to help you build this platform and to plug in the pieces that you need without going into the woods and, you know, just getting lost down all those rabbit holes. So, and this is just kind of a little sampling of some of the things that I teach when I work with the group there. So if it's something that you would like to know more about, if you want to get on the wait list just to get the sales page once I release that, I'll put the link in the comments. Feel free to join me there. And if you're watching again on replay, make sure you let me know. And thanks for watching live. And I think I answered the comments or questions there. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a terrific day. See ya.